Let's check out this blossom field today for our YouTube collab loop group. And if you would like to see how I set up these cute, adorable pages, stay tuned. What's up everyone? This is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning. And if this is the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Here I share tips, ideas, and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. As you probably remember, this was the last setup we did here. This is my creative journal and I did some painting using some acrylic paint and watercolors. And this was the stationery theme for our YouTube collab loop group. The video is linked and I will touch a bit on what the whole concept of the YouTube collab loop group is, but let's get started. And this is the sticker binder from Live Love Posh, and I have some sorting going on here, so I've organized them into, hope you can see the labels, into the alphas, the florals, the boxes, and some of the used kits. And I also have an extra copy for the sticker journaling kit. And these are all still available from Live Love Posh. It's a fun sticker journaling pack, and I thought I would dive into these ones and just keeping the extra pack out if needed, because I may need some of the florals that I have used up quite well from the current pack. And I also have this Florelia Faith, which all came out last year, 2025. And this was one of the very first sticker packs that came out for the sticker journaling kit kind of items. And this is a digital copy of one of the latest Arch and Olive releases. And I believe this is called the Fairy Forest or something. I'll have the name in the description. And I have all my usual tools, which are mostly from Journal Say, and my code Priya can earn you 8% off. I also have my gyro cart, my whitener, and all the usual stuff. And this is my square journal, the 8x8 from Archer and Olive. And we will dive straight into some Dutch doors. I wanted to use this fairy, the small, cute, adorable tree house kind of theme for the blossom, because blossom definitely would mean the springtime and the flowers and all that. But when I saw this part of the release from Arch and Olive last week, I think I had wanted to pick it up, because if you know me, I love the fairies and the tree houses and the cute, adorable mushrooms. So this was a printable version, so you can see how I'm using the symmetrical aspects here. So I have them in two different orientations for us to play around with, and I have my pencil out. And if you are ever wondering how I set up the stickers like so, I have a full tutorial on how you can do so, and it's much easier than you think. So I will have the full playlist linked for you. And let's also pull out these floral alphas and maybe pull out the floral stickers which are in here. And I will link everything, so don't worry about having to memorize any names. And this is the collection. So there were 4 different collections that came out together, the sticker journaling kits. So I had sorted them into categories because there were quite a few that I could have in each section. And I will put both of these sticker books combined in here. And let's see, where shall we start here? So I will definitely make sure that I link the YouTube collab loop group themes. I have a full playlist, and please check out the full set of videos with the different themes I have done over the past couple of years, I can say now, because I joined the YouTube collab loop groups very soon after I started my YouTube channel. So it has been a really fun way of exploring themes. And the loudest shout out to Lisa Marie, and she's the lady behind all the loop groups that you see. So while I put my first set of Dutch doors together, I thought I will tell you a bit about how the YouTube collab loop group works. And again, if you are ever wondering on how to join one of these, please reach out to Lisa Marie. I have tagged her below. And she is the sweetest, most supportive person you can see. So she puts together different groups based on whether you're interested, of course. And it's a whole bunch of growing YouTubers who come together and interpret a particular theme that Lisa Marie provides us. So she usually takes a look at the fun holidays that happen around the time the videos get uploaded. And she gives us all like a time frame, and we all drop our videos at the same time on the same day. So it is going to be a whole loop that you can follow. So if you start with my video or somebody else's, you continue to watch the video in its entirety, and you go to the description. You, of course, subscribe if you haven't, and get started from there, because you drop us something sweet, something nice in the comments, so that it will be a nice, supportive way of showing the algorithm that you're doing something nice. So you go to the description after all of that is done, and you follow the next person by watching their video, which is linked in the video you just watched. And you continue on until you get back to the same person you started with. And it is as simple as that. Once you have started wherever you started with, you will have completed the loop, and you will have completed all the different creators who are part of that loop group, because each week the folks differ, the themes differ. And it's a great way of getting to know new creators who you otherwise may not have stumbled upon or watched. So you will be surprised at how differently the interpretations are. And it is such a wide variety that you get to watch each time. So that is all there is. And do not forget to check out the next person's video, which is linked below. And as you can see, I lay down the washi tapes. I lay down the florals, and you can use my code Priya10 for 10% off at Arch and Olive, Live Love Posh, Planything, and a few other shops, the washi tape shop. I'll have all that information in the description for you. And there are a lot of fun items coming. As we speak, there are a lot of releases that have been announced so far. And I will have all that information in the description for you, so do not worry. And May 15th is going to be a huge, huge release day, just like the earlier week, because the first week, Mojo Jojo Plans had their functional drop, and that was mostly some of the restocks. So I'll quickly give you a brief idea of what's happening. And you can see how I'm lining up the rest of the florals for the back page before we proceed to the second page. So for the 6th of May, we had the Arch and Olive summer release, and this fairy tale forest was part of the release. It is their summer release, and they had stunning designs as always, and they had lots of these digital stickers also. And nowadays my code can be used on the digital media as well, the printable stickers can also get a discount. Earlier, to my understanding, if I'm not mistaken, the printable stickers were not eligible for a discount, but nowadays they are. So when I picked this up, I could use my discount code. So that is our next Dutch door, and I'm trying to layer the different elements, if you can see. And I wanted to create like a fairy forest, you know what I mean? If you have watched my reading journal setups, you know how much I love the fairy tales and all the whimsical elements that come with it. So that is our second Dutch door. And May 7th, Laurel Denise had their functional planners is what they have. And they had their academic launch, which is again a super, super useful planner if you are into functional planning. And if you need something where you can see the month and the days of the week all in one place and all in one go, that's one of the planners you need to check out. And coming back to the third week, which would be the week you would be seeing this, because I'm filming this and editing this a couple of days in advance, not a couple, almost a week in advance. But you have May 15th with two big releases. There is a Mojo Jojo Plans anniversary. It's their 5-year anniversary sale, and like tons and tons of products are coming. So that is going to be huge. And it kicks off at 9 a.m. Mountain, followed by 9 a.m. Pacific for another huge release, another huge summer release from Planything, with 3 new sticker books and 12 washi tapes, lots and lots of stuff coming. Again, I'm not trying to push you or pursue you or enable you to buy everything. Just take a look at everything that you have available, that you have coming out, and buy only the things that you need, because you do not need everything. You may not need anything at all, that's a different story. But if you are somebody who is keen on picking themes or items that you love, then definitely check it out before you make that decision whether to purchase or not to purchase. So you can see how I'm using the bigger scissors and the smaller scissors. Both are needed. Both are an absolute necessary set of tools that you need in your collection if you are into paper cutting. And you will also see how much my gyro cut is coming in handy. And I have a tutorial if at all you are ever wondering how to get started with it and what exactly it is. I have talked all about it in the tutorial video. I will have that linked. And please let me know if you have any specific questions. And this is our next Dutch door, because we have the exact same elements. So it is just a matter of matching up the sizes and matching up the shapes. And I think it turned out absolutely adorable. And there is something magical about these mushrooms and the toadstools and the fairies. Do you agree, or is it just me? And I'm trying to fill some of the remaining white space in here. And let us see. We have some of these smaller elements which can definitely be brought in to match all those shapes. And you will see how that part is done now. And let me know if you have been following me for some time, and if you are ever wondering on how you can support me further, please check out the membership options. The details are in the description, and it's like a closer circle. It's a more supportive kind of folks who come together and they pay extra money. It's like Patreon, but it's here on YouTube. And I've been really enjoying all the feedback and thought that I have been given. from my members, and I even get video suggestions depending on what they need for their lives, because some of them are grandmothers and they would really love to have journals for their grandchildren, and they need ideas to have some setups based off. So I do get lots of questions, and I try to give them as many as possible depending on what products I have. And finishing off this last Dutch door here, and I love that house, the fairy tale house, which I was very particular had to be fully visible from the front even when I turn the page. All the washi tapes are from Planything, and I will have all the names linked for you. And I'm trying to make sure I have some of the longer stickers, if you can say that some of them are on a wider angle and some of them are taller. So the taller elements are what perfectly fit behind all these elements in the front, and they will give a sense of depth. You know what I mean, right? So that is definitely something we'll need. And I almost put that down, and then you will see how it's a very clumsy moment, because I had been listening to an audiobook. I'm currently listening to The Nightingale from Kristen Hanna, and her books are really a bit on the heavier side because the subjects are very serious, and it's not a light read at all from any angle. So I try to do only 1 or 2 books every year. So I have started with The Nightingale, and I think I was deeply focused on that book, and that's why I think I messed it up. But then once I took the pictures, I did think that I had made one spelling mistake when I spelled something. You'll see what I'm talking about towards the end. And then I realized, once I was trying to transfer my images from the iPad where I do all my filming onto my MacBook, and I was just airdropping them, and then I was just going through the images, and I was setting up everything up so that I could start with my voiceover. I realized that I had spelt something really, really bad. So I came back and I did the final fixing of that only at the very, very end. So until that point, you will see how I just work with that particular mistake on the page, and I didn't even realize. That was so clumsy of me, so silly of me, so stupid of me, whatever you want to call that. But I guess it happens to everybody when you're not focusing, because you know some of those letters are there, but in what order it goes in, it makes a difference. So you can see how I am trying to alternate between this orange and white stripes, and with that grass washi, which is always something I love to use during springtime. So now let's see how we can spell the blossom. And I have all my videos I have done in the past couple of years, ever since I started with the YouTube collab loop groups. I have all the videos in the playlist, and if you want to see some really creative fun spreads, lots of Dutch doors, and it's mostly the creative journals that I try to do for the YouTube collab loop groups, because my daily journals are very functional, so I try not to take up a whole lot of space. You know what I mean? So this is how I spelt the blossom, and I really did not know how to fix this because I wanted to do something differently, but then I had already done all the Dutch doors part. Maybe I have an idea, but maybe I'll try and do it for some other time. Let me know if you would have done something different if you were in my shoes, and you will see what I mean, because I do come and make lots of changes to the left side page, and I almost stopped, and then I had come back to it the next day when I realized I needed to make some more changes. So this was like a couple of days during which I had filmed this. I was almost done with the process, and then I thought that was it. But then when I looked at it the next day, I didn't quite like it, so I made some changes. So it is sometimes how things are, you know. So that is some more of those blossoms that are being used. And you see how when I'm not able to get my head too close to the spread or the pages, then it becomes a bit of a struggle, because sometimes I end up cutting into the thick pages. So that's why I had wanted to make sure that I trim it as close to the paper as possible without cutting off the actual page. And I try and layer some of the elements here, and I could have printed the fairy tale stuff, the printable stickers, on clear sticker paper. And if you are wondering where to get actual good quality sticker paper from, I have my recommendations in the description. And now I have my Amazon storefront also, where I have shared all my favorite tools and accessories and all that. So please check that out. I have linked everything for you. And this is the first set of the Dutch door part, all done. And it is a good place to stop, and it is a good place where you can say, you know what, the decorative part is good. But no, sometimes we just keep going and going and going. So I thought I will combine this floral cluster with plain boxes, and they are all from that sticker kit and the sticker collection. And let's try and layer some more of the smaller elements, and I just want that to stop right there at the spine. And we will also try and use, that color does not look perfect, so maybe we will have that pink stripe. And again, these are all from Finalizing, and they have more coming up in a few days. And by the time you see this, I'm not sure when you will be, but it will be pretty close to the release. If not already, they may have released. So 15th is another big release day, followed by mostly the 29th. I will have the exact release date as of the time of editing. I know that May 29th, Live Love Posh will be having their release. One of their upcoming releases will happen then. And you can see how I'm using the Pigma Micron in size 10 to outline the pages. And that is going to be another simple thing you can do to kind of make sure that it looks a bit more finished. And also make sure that you have a balance of colors also, because those are simple ways in which you can make a difference when it comes to a page. And I'm using some already pre-done clusters to bring in that extra flowery touch. And since our theme is blossom, why wouldn't we, right? And let me know if you had picked up any of these sticker books. And every time you shop through my links and codes, it truly makes my day, because it is really sweet and thoughtful when somebody takes the trouble. And that's another great way of supporting me every time you do so, and I really appreciate every single one of you who does that. And I love when new products come and then people just grab them, things just fly off the shelves. That's what happens with some Planything releases. And it is amazing how some products are just too cute, and you think you wanna purchase it, but then you decide to wait a couple of days and then it's gone. So it happens sometimes, and you can't buy everything, right? That's also something I try to remind myself. So for me, I'm at a position, luckily, thankfully, and I'm super grateful about it, that I get sent products most of the time, but an occasional time when I've not been able to work much or people have not been using my codes much, I don't get sent, which is also a good thing sometimes, right? Because otherwise you have lots of products and there's only so much you can do. And I really love to use as much of the stationery I have in hand, and I can possibly have no purchases at all and I will be good for quite a few years at this point. So I'm really grateful I'm at that position, and I try and do lots of gifting and I make spreads for friends, and I really love when I can do that, when I can give back to the community that way. So please make sure that you keep supporting me, and I will be the most grateful person. So you can see how I'm using some of those strip stickers, those washi strips, or the journaling stickers, the journaling strips rather, practically washi strips, right? So I will try and make sure I cover up that straight edge. Maybe I should pick something else. I think flowers would look odd. So maybe some of the other stickers would be better. Yeah, I think these stickers would make perfect additions for that. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah. So you see how you can play around with printable stickers, and I'm a big fan. So I have used a lot of I've tried rather from different brands. I've tried a lot of printable stickers that I pick up from Etsy. A lot of folks who do their own hand illustrations, I make sure I support them. I also pick up printable stickers from Wrong and Arch and Olive, and definitely a lot of the Etsy shops. And it is amazing. The Wrong has both the printable versions and the other normal tangible stickers. So as you can see, so this is the next day. So this is where the weirdo moments are coming. So I took off some part of the left page, if you can see, and I'm using this stencil from Archer and Olive to kind of give that rough arch shape, but then that's not a really sharp pencil, so it is not going through the stencil. So I'm going to have the Pigma 01 to do the outline. And this was part of one of the sub boxes, but you can always check out the D-stash groups. There are Facebook D-stash groups and all that. So you might come across that if you are really desperate to find it. I think it was part of the Celestial box from a couple of years ago. So I want to kind of spell the blossom in an arch like so. So maybe I'll put it like here. So I pulled it out, and I think some of the stickiness is starting to go because it was a lot of positioning and repositioning, and then it started to really, the glue part really started coming off, or the stickiness is not as much. Maybe if I press down the pages a bit more, it will be okay, but I thought I will roughly place this like in a proper solid shape, and then I will come and glue them down, and then I decide to kind of take off the letters one by one, and I will use that tape, the white tape. It's a correction tape. Let's see, I think I had the glue tape from Journal Say, but I don't think I have that handy. And this is the Tombow Dots adhesive. So I'm using a scrap piece of paper to make sure I put them down and then have the glue attached. So that is the whole process. And since I'm doing the whiteout as I go, I think I'm able to see that archway because that's all I wanted. Because ideally I would have used the pencil, but I did not want to use a really sharp pencil either, because then because I'm heavy-handed, I do make that line pretty prominent. It just presses down really hard. So I was not in favor of that. So that's why I thought maybe that thinner pen would be better. So that is kind of the thought process, and that is the blossom. I have spelt it like so, and just doing that last bit of whiteout. And this is the third of the sessions. I'm sitting down, and now comes the wah 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 part comes. Let's fix that M a bit more to the bottom. And now I would like to spell field, blossom field, but then you see how I'm going to mess it up. I cannot believe I just did that. But yes, it does happen. And we will now come and decorate some of the area inside there, and maybe, yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah, that also I had repositioned it, and the sticker paper, it was just starting to lose its stickiness because it went through a lot of torture. And I will link all the products I've used. Don't worry about what exactly I used where. So that is our simple little correction here. And what do you think? So I continue to add some more decorative elements. And we have some of these checklist strips which hardly gets used. So why not? We will use some of that in here. Maybe just adding it like so. And that is nice, all done. And that will be our next one. Yeah, just using that little bit of the yellow checklist element, and we will be done. And you can see how we can use some of the bigger clusters to just decorate just along the edges and bring in some colors, some additional touches as you go. And I think the pages came out really sweet and cute. And I'm using some of that up there. So you can see how a little bit of cutting and trimming and sticker surgery can go a long, long way. Even if you have only very limited number of stickers to use. And I thought I was done. And I come back and add some more decorations right there. And please check out the next person's video, which is linked below. And please make sure you subscribe to all our channels and you turn on the bell notification as well, so that you can be sure you would not miss out on any fun videos from any of us. And please follow me on Instagram. I do share more spreads and more sneaks, even if they don't quite get YouTube videos. So this is where we are, and hope you liked today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.